What's up, guys? Today we're going to talk about the top 5 movies that scared me as a kid. Now, today, nothing really scares me in movies as you get older, and especially meeting all these actors and stuff in person at conventions and things like that, knowing how movies are made, nothing really scares me now. But yeah, these are the top 5 just as a kid in the 80s and 90s that just scared the crap out of me. At number 5, we're just going to jump right into this, guys. At number 5, we have Child's Play. I know as a kid and a lot of kids in the 80s, early 90s, anytime you saw a My Buddy doll, you just automatically thought it was going to be like Chucky and come to life and attack you, go after you. But yeah, Child's Play just scared the crap out of me as a kid. I was afraid to be around any dolls or anything like that, any of the bigger ones. I just always thought something bad was going to happen. They were going to come to life and go after you. But yeah, Child's Play is number 5 for me. Coming in at number 4, we're going to go through this video really quick, is the original Evil Dead. Now, what scared me about this wasn't necessarily like the acts that were going on, the gore, any of that. Some of the scenes where she's coming up from the cellar, things like that, kind of a little bit. But the main thing that scared me about this movie the most is when the camera was going through the woods and everything. I just thought that was extremely creepy. And this one I actually saw a little bit later. I was still a kid. I was still like a teenager, maybe a little bit younger when I first saw Evil Dead. But that just scared the crap out of me. That camera just going through the woods, and I don't know. It just, something about this movie, it just got under my skin. But yeah, The Evil Dead is number 4. And now the Evil Dead franchise is one of my favorite franchises now. Number 3, we have, of course, probably the scariest movie ever made. Everybody knows this one as one of, if not the scariest movie to ever exist, and that is going to be The Exorcist, 1973. I did see this one at a very young age, and just those scenes where she's spider walking down the stairs, turning her whole head around, everything. And on top of that was, more than anything, was that demonic voice when she is possessed. That voice just made my freaking skin crawl when I saw this. Still does to this day, to be honest. When she's talking that way, it just really gets to me. And especially as a kid, that's just something you can't unsee and unhear. But yeah, The Exorcist 1973 is my number 3. Number 2, guys, and this one is one of the only one in here, I think, only rated PG-13 as well. I think today's standards, it would probably be an R, but that is the original Poltergeist. Now, I saw this first time on a recorded VHS tape. I fondly remember watching this at my parents' house, that they recorded off of TV or something on a blank tape, and I was very young. When I saw this. When did this one come out? This one came out, and I don't even remember the year for Poltergeist. Let's see, 1982. I think I was like 6 or 7 when I saw this, though. I was born that year, I do believe. Yeah, that's the year I was born, is when it came out. It was a few years after it came out, when it was on TV and they recorded it. I was probably, like 6 or 7 when this came out, and those scenes that got to me are probably the ones that got to everybody. The 2 main scenes in this movie were definitely the clown scene. That's just something engraved in your brain, in your head, throughout your whole entire life. That freaking clown, man, just coming up and wrapping around you and everything. Not only that, though, that tree outside the window, that tree is just demonic. Tree is possessed. A tree is creepy. I'm just glad I never had a tree like that growing up outside of my window or something, because that thing just, something wasn't right with that tree. And of course, you gotta go with the swimming pool when the skeletons are coming up and everything. And of course, they used real skeletons in that scene. I think even not knowing that as a kid, even not knowing that fact, it gave it that extra creepy vibe, even though you didn't know that they were real. I mean, I figured they were fake, a movie prop, but they were real, and that just makes it even more eerie as an adult to know that. But yeah, Poltergeist, 1982 is number 2 there. Number 1, guys, probably no surprise since I haven't mentioned it yet, is the original A Nightmare on Elm Street. Now, everyone knows why Freddy is so scary and why this just terrified us, not only as kids, but as adults. Because what do we have to do in life? What's the number one thing besides eating that we have to do to survive? And there's just no option. We gotta sleep, right? And I did not want to sleep forever when I saw this. Again, I was really young when I saw this, probably 6, 7, 8 years old. And man, this just always stuck with me. And Freddy scared the crap out of me for a long time in my life. Like, I would not watch Nightmare on Elm Street by myself, like in the dark or anything. I couldn't do it, and I wouldn't be able to sleep that night. But of course, since then I've met Robert Englund, who played Freddy. I've met other cast members, things like that. I know it's not real. Nothing's gonna happen to you, but man, just knowing that at some point in time you're gonna have to fall asleep. And you cannot control your dreams. You can't control what happens, who comes into your dreams. I mean, the idea for this movie just is incredible. I mean, it's just something that preys upon a lot of people's fears. But yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street, the original, definitely my number 1, guys. And I'm going to throw in a little bonus here, a little, what's the word I'm looking for? Honorable mention. Only didn't make this list. I would have put this at number 5 instead of Child's Play, but it's not technically a movie. They did later on go and make a couple movies based off the series, but that is Tales from the Crypt, originally airing in 1989. So all these, do fall in the 80s there. But yeah, Tales from the Crypt, the Crypt Keeper, his voice, and especially his laugh. I think it's just great and hilarious now, but as a child, that laugh just got way under my skin, scared the crap out of me. And I remember being a young kid and living with my sisters, that one of their boyfriends or friends or something could laugh just like the Crypt Keeper. And of course, being a kid and having older siblings, they want to like mess with you, so they would purposely like laugh like that to just scare me. I remember that like it's yesterday. It's just weird what sticks with you that happens to you as a kid, your child trauma that sticks with you. I mean, in a good way in this. And it's just crazy to me how things can terrify the crap out of you as a child. And then as you become an adult, it's the things you enjoy the most in life. Like, I love horror movies now. It's my favorite genre, as you can tell by the room, behind me. This room is filled with horror movies, horror posters, masks, all that stuff, even like life-size props, But as a child, this scared the living crap out of me. I don't remember too many of the episodes I watched when I was a kid, but just the Crypt Keeper himself was just absolutely freaking terrifying. All right, guys, that is my top 5 with the one honorable mention. But yeah, let me know what scared you as a kid, guys. I am very curious to know. Of course, these are all popular mainstream releases. I wasn't around any like underground stuff, shot on video stuff, anything like that. My parents were pretty mainstream people like that. And, other people that I knew as a child that I grew up with, we didn't know anything about any of the other stuff. Of course, now, diving into all that, finding all these hidden gems from the 80s and even early 90s in the horror genre, or even, stuff that comes out today gets overlooked. But, all right, like, subscribe, all that good stuff, guys. If you haven't already, I would greatly appreciate that. As always, peace, love, happiness to all of you. I'll catch you all next time. Later.